This is your final moment. Archangel Michael and Jesus are speaking now, and the message is clear. If you skip this, you walk away from both of us. You have only seconds. Whatever is pulling at your attention, do not let it pull you away. I'm asking you, my child, my beloved, lean into this message. The instant these words reached your eyes, heaven itself leaned forward around you. Something has already begun to shift. Even if you can't see it yet, you can feel it brushing against your spirit, soft but unmistakable. Pay attention, my child. You did not arrive here by chance. You were drawn here by a force older than time itself. That force has been waiting, patiently, for the moment you would stop running from the miracle that has been calling your name again and again. Pause for a breath, my beloved. Heaven is warning you that if you turn away now, you will miss the exact moment your destiny changes direction. That is why Archangel Michael is pleading. That is why Jesus is calling you directly through this message. And if your hands are trembling, if your heart feels unsteady, it's because your life is standing on the edge of a massive turn. You cried out when no one understood your pain. You begged heaven for a breakthrough when the world went silent. This is not just another message passing through your ears. This is a rescue reaching down from heaven. This is divine intervention. This is the opening in the storm you've been hiding inside. My child, hear this clearly before you take another step forward. If there has ever been a moment when you longed for God to speak to you without distance or confusion, this is that moment. Heaven is clear now. Do not delay. Do not step away. Do not tell yourself you will return later. What is unfolding is sacred, my beloved. There are seasons when God watches not to judge you, not to break you, but to see if you will finally step forward and receive what has always been set aside for you. This is one of those sacred thresholds. Let something rise quietly inside you and say it without fear. I am ready. Heaven has been waiting for that readiness, not spoken out loud, but awakened in your spirit. You were never abandoned in the waiting. You were never unseen in the silence. As Jesus says, they think I have forgotten about them, but I have never left them. I have never given up on them. I kept an eye on them all the time. There is a stillness forming around you now, the kind that settles just before truth breaks through. Be still and know that I am God. This is not distance you are feeling, it is recognition. The same presence that stood with Moses in the desert, that called Samuel in the night, that strengthened Elijah when he thought he was alone, is standing here with you now. And hear this clearly as it rises within you. I am with you always, to the end of the age. This is the moment you realize you were never waiting for God. God was waiting for you to remember who you are. Your name has been spoken in realms you've never seen. My child, there has been pressure against your life, an unseen force trying to wear you down, to bring collapse where promise was forming. You felt it in moments of sudden heaviness, in doors that closed just before opening, in the sense that something kept pushing you to the edge. But hear this now. Archangel Michael has stepped forward. He stands before you with his sword drawn, declaring that the assault ends here. No more attacks, no more losses, no more quiet breaking in the dark. Heaven is not slow. It is moving faster than your fear, faster than every hidden plan set against you, faster than the circumstances that tried to corner you. You were never as alone as it felt. You were never as exposed as you thought. There were eyes watching you stumble and secretly hoping you would stay down. There were voices that praised you while wishing your journey would take longer. But heaven saw every hidden intention, every masked delay, every silent resistance. And now the verdict has been released. Enough. That is why this moment feels different. That is why your spirit is awake in a way it hasn't been before. Your breakthrough did not begin with this message. It began long before, in the unseen, when heaven decided your suffering had gone on long enough. This is not the start. This is the confirmation. You have cried where no one heard you. You have carried weight you never asked for. And in the quiet, Jesus speaks, not in thunder, but close enough for your heart to recognize his voice. You have been fighting longer than you should have had to. You stood in storms that were meant to take you out. Still, you were chosen. Still, you are breathing. Still, you are standing. That alone is a sign. Every moment you thought God was silent, he was rearranging things beyond your sight. Every time you felt overlooked, heaven was working without noise. Delay was never denial. Resistance was never rejection. Now something begins to open. Not slowly, not cautiously, but deliberately. Paths align. Weight lifts, vision clears. Yet hear this warning carried with love and urgency. What has been written for you cannot be postponed forever. If you turn away again, if you doubt what is rising within you now, you risk stepping past the door, already opening. This is the hour of alignment. The battle has been acknowledged, the protection has been set, and your life is moving forward, whether fear agrees or not. You asked for a sign, my child. You asked for clarity when the road felt blurred. You asked for a word that would steady your steps and remind you that you were not lost. That word has arrived. What is meeting you now is not coincidence and not comfort alone. It is direction. Before we go further, hear this clearly in your spirit. Heaven is inviting you to choose alignment, not passively, but deliberately. When light calls your name, you do not stand still. You step toward it, so the path does not disappear again. This choice is an act of faith. It is how you tell heaven that you want to remain positioned to receive what is already being released. Faith has always moved through action. Abraham stepped before he saw the land. Peter stepped before he knew the water would hold. This moment is like that. You are not choosing a voice. You are choosing to stay where guidance can reach you again and again, so nothing meant for you is missed or delayed. Heaven uses appointed moments to return to you, to speak again when life tries to drown out what was spoken before. Do not let the next word pass you by. Now that your heart is open, hear this. The change you sensed earlier is real. Archangel Michael declares that preparation has begun. Something important is approaching, and it will arrive faster than you expect. My beloved, your story is about to turn so sharply that even those who doubted you will not understand how you rose again. There is restoration unfolding beyond what your eyes can see. It will silence the questions you've carried about your future. What is coming will answer doubts you never spoke out loud. The truth heaven has been holding is weighty, precise, and personal. It has waited through seasons and years for the right moment to be revealed. And that moment is now. Before it rises fully into words, feel this settle deep within you. Let your spirit recognize itself in what is about to be unveiled. This is not for everyone. This is for the one who stayed, for the one who listened, for the one who was willing to move when called. You were never meant for an ordinary life. Even now, as these words meet you, everything you've walked through has been shaping you for a moment that begins here. The struggle, the delays, the heartbreaks, the strength that refuse to disappear. Archangel Michael leans close and speaks with clarity. You thought you were only surviving, but you did not see that heaven itself was carrying you the whole way. You have no idea how much was intercepted before it ever reached you. How many disasters were quietly removed from your path? How many traps were dismantled before your foot could slip? How many betrayals were exposed before they could wound you? You were protected in moments you didn't even know were dangerous. And now you are crossing into a new season, one where protection becomes promotion, endurance becomes victory, and waiting gives way to receiving. This is why you are here now. This is why your spirit stayed when it could have turned away. Jesus is making this clear. You will not miss what is meant for you this time. Nothing will interrupt it. Nothing will delay it. What has been promised will reach you. Not halfway, not distorted, fully, completely. This is not just a moment of belief. It is alignment. It is your inner being coming into agreement with heaven so what was spoken can finally take form. Feel this shift as it rises within you. A curtain that once surrounded your life is being pulled back. What was hidden is coming into view. What was postponed is moving toward release. What was taken is being addressed. More than restoration is at work. Renewal is happening at the core. Heaven sees the weight you've been carrying, the weariness that settled into your spirit, the quiet exhaustion no one else noticed. This is not a rebuke. It is recognition. You were not made to be worn down by the journey. You were made to be strengthened by it. And now, the season changes. What guarded you is lifting you. What preserved you is advancing you. And your life is about to reflect what heaven has known about you all along. There is a force that keeps pressing against you at the exact edge of divine timing, always trying to pull you away just as the blessing draws near. Hear this clearly, my child. When heaven says, "You will lose both of us if you skip," it is not a threat of abandonment. Archangel Michael and Jesus are not leaving you. What is at risk is the moment itself. Instruction can pass. Timing can slip. The door can close before you arrive. Not because you were rejected, but because you were not present when it opened. This is not an ordinary pause in your day. This is a crossroads of fate. Heaven is asking you to stay, to remain attentive, to receive every word, because something with the power to redirect your life is unfolding now. You were protected in dangers you never noticed. You were covered in seasons you didn't recognize as battles. And you are here now because you are stepping into a threshold where protection turns into promotion, survival turns into victory, and waiting turns into receiving. Jesus is making this unmistakable. You will not miss what is meant for you this time. Nothing will interrupt it. Nothing will derail it. What has been set in motion will reach completion. Let this register deep within you. A spiritual veil is being drawn back from your life. What was concealed is coming into the light. What was delayed is moving forward. What was taken is not only being restored, it is returning with increase. Yet heaven also sees your weariness. The heaviness you've carried has tried to pull you out of position, to exhaust you just enough to arrive late, distracted, or doubting. That is why the warning is repeated with urgency, not because love withdraws, but because moments do. Teachers speak, doors open, seasons shift, and if you are not there, they move on. This is a moment of destiny. Stay, listen, take it in. Something weighty is about to happen. Something that does not circle back. Something that changes the direction of your life. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for presence. Because this door does not remain open forever, and what stands behind it has been waiting for you. My child, you trusted people who were never meant to carry your heart. You loved deeply, and some did not guard what you gave them. There were smiles offered to your face and words spoken against you when you turned away. None of it went unseen. Heaven witnessed every moment and declared, "This child will rise regardless." What you lost is not gone. What was taken is not erased. What slipped through your hands is finding its way back to you. What you missed is returning. What you poured out with a sincere heart is coming back multiplied. They thought that wounding you would quiet your purpose. They believed that pressure would dim your calling. But they did not know what was placed inside you. There is a fire within you that no human hand can put out. Jesus speaks with certainty here. Every battle you faced was never evidence of weakness. It was evidence of destiny. Only chosen lives draw storms that intense. Only hearts set apart feel pressure meant to crush them. Only spirits carrying light face attacks designed to smother their glow. If you have felt drained, worn down, or overwhelmed, it is not because you are failing. It is because you have been standing in a war that is not small. You have been contending for a future you cannot fully see yet, but heaven already has. You are winning battles you don't even realize you are fighting. There is something written about your life beyond what the natural eye can read. A promise that cannot be broken. A blessing that cannot be stolen. A breakthrough that cannot be buried. Like Joseph rising after betrayal, like Job restored after loss, your story does not end where others tried to leave it. The enemy tried to confuse you, distract you, wear down your sense of worth, and convince you that nothing would ever change. But hear this now, beloved. Change has already begun. A new path is forming beneath your feet. A divine rearrangement is taking shape around your life. What is being released over you is not judgment for harm, but judgment for good. What hurt you did not disqualify you. It marked you. And now what marked you is becoming the very place from which restoration flows. Right now, heaven is asking only one thing of you. Do not turn away. Do not skip this moment. Do not let doubt steal the time that was set apart for you. Your heart has been pressing you toward change for a long while now. That unrest you felt was not confusion. It was your soul asking for peace. There has been a quiet hunger in you for clarity, for truth that settles rather than soothes. Heaven heard that unspoken cry, answered it, and sent this message at the exact moment you were finally ready to receive it. What is coming may unsettle you, my child. It may feel unfamiliar, even frightening at first, but it will also free you. Understand this clearly before we move forward. This word was never meant to stop with you. There are others connected to your life who are bound by the same weight you have been carrying. When this message moves through you, it carries freedom with it. It is not about passing along a video. It is about releasing what has been awakened in you, so breakthrough can ripple outward, touching lives you are connected to in ways you cannot yet see. Your willingness to let this message move is evidence of your own rising. And hear this with clarity and care. There is someone close to you whose presence has been interfering with what belongs to you. Their influence has slowed blessings, distorted timing, and weighed down your spirit. Heaven has been watching this quietly, not to strike them, but to guard you. Protection has been active, long before you understood why resistance felt so personal. Jesus makes this known before the next shift unfolds. Truth must surface. You are not walking alone. Archangel Michael stands beside you, alert and watchful. He warns that ignoring this moment would lead you straight into something meant to be avoided. This is not a gentle pull toward destiny. This is urgency. There is too much ahead for delay, and heaven has far more it intends to reveal to you. This is only the beginning. Slow your breath. Let your guard fall without fear. What comes next will speak to places in your heart that have never been named aloud. Heaven waited patiently for this alignment, for the moment your spirit was unburdened enough to hear, for the moment your destiny was ready to move. Now that moment has arrived. Archangel Michael watches over your life with unwavering focus. The truth that, my beloved, heaven is making this known to you now. You have been surrounded by presences that look peaceful on the surface, but quietly drain you from within. They appear calm, supportive, even kind, yet their intentions are not aligned with your good. You have felt this for a long time. You sensed it in your body before you could name it in words. The heaviness you wake up with, the sadness that arrives without a reason, the anxiety that rises when nothing is wrong. These weights were never yours. You have been walking through storms that were not assigned to you. That is why Jesus said, if they skip, they will lose us. Because this is the moment truth steps forward. What is being revealed now loosens a chain you did not even know was wrapped around you. There is someone near you who envies what rests on your life. They smile when they see you, but feel relief when they notice your struggle. They appear supportive, yet deep inside, they believe you do not deserve what God has prepared for you. Hear this clearly, my child. You are not weaker than this person. They are afraid of what lives inside you. The light you carry is ancient. Your heart is unusually pure. Your destiny is weighted with purpose, and your glow exposes darkness without you saying a single word. This is why some feel uneasy around you. Before you speak, they sense your spirit. Before you move, they feel your direction. Before you understand your own blessing, they already feel its weight. Archangel Michael has been watching from the unseen places, guarding you while this influence lingered nearby. The resistance you felt was never about something you did wrong. It came from someone who wanted you to fail, not because you hurt them, but because your existence made their own limitations louder. Heaven is not revealing this to create bitterness or blame. It is revealing this to set you free. Free from confusion, free from emotional manipulation, free from spiritual interference, free from the constant drain that left you tired without explanation. You have been fighting battles you could not see, but heaven saw them clearly, and heaven stepped in. You were protected long before you understood what needed protection. The silence that once surrounded this truth is now breaking. The pattern is being exposed so it can no longer hide behind familiarity. Someone who smiled while hoping you would remain stuck. Someone who stood close while quietly blocking what belonged to you. This influence does not have authority over you. They fear what God placed inside you because it cannot be copied, controlled, or dimmed. Few carry a heart like yours. Few are marked with a calling like this. What has been written over your life is strong, and your presence reveals truth without effort. This is why distance will begin to form naturally. This is why clarity is rising now. Heaven has kept you safe, and now, my beloved, heaven is breaking the silence, not to frighten you, but to finally free you. My child, listen closely now, because this is the place where many turn away, and that is why their shift never happens. But you stayed, you continued, you did not leave when it became uncomfortable. And because you remained, truth can finally rise to meet you. They were crying, believing nothing was changing, unaware that I was removing the wrong people from their path to make room for the right ones, says Jesus. Every person who walked away from your life was not rejecting you. It was heaven rearranging what could no longer stay. Every door that closed was not punishment. It was protection. Every delay was not refusal. It was preparation. Heaven is not finished yet. One final unveiling was required for your breakthrough, and it could not be released until your space was cleared. Something about your future has been held back until now. Not denied, guarded. What is coming carries so much good that the wrong presence would have drained it, misused it, or blocked it entirely. It could not be trusted to fall into careless hands. That is why the urgency has been so strong. That is why your spirit feels awake, alert, unable to turn away. Heaven pleaded, not out of fear, but out of care. Do not skip this moment. To walk forward without this truth would be to enter your future unprepared, and heaven will not allow that. What is aligning now includes a sudden financial breakthrough, deep emotional healing you didn't know how to ask for, justice that has taken far too long, a miracle that once felt impossible, and restoration tied to your life from the very beginning. Not borrowed, not accidental, assigned. Before we go any further, pause for a moment. If something is already stirring within you, if this message is reaching into places you rarely speak of, respond with intention. Do something meaningful with what you're sensing right now. First, like this message so it can reach others who are searching for hope and clarity. Then share it with someone who needs encouragement today, someone who may be ready to receive this confirmation. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and stay connected, not just to a channel, but to a growing stream of messages meant for this season. As we're moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your connection helps ensure this message continues reaching the hearts it was meant for. Now take a moment to go to the comments and write 999 or 777, and also share your city and where you're listening from. Let this be a quiet but powerful declaration of readiness and alignment as you move forward. This is not just content. This is confirmation. This is alignment. This is for those who have been quietly preparing for a deeper level of growth and restoration. Thank you for being part of this moment. Amen. You are about to be lifted so high that the pain you once carried will feel small compared to the view ahead of you. Yet there is still more. This revelation had to reach you immediately. What comes next is not general. It is personal. It is the truth. Heaven has been circling around your life for years, waiting for the moment you could carry it without breaking. This truth will change you when you hear it. Have you ever wondered why your battles felt heavier than others? Why your heartbreak cut deeper? Why your delays lasted longer? Why your spirit felt tired, even when your body still stood? It was never weakness. It was never bad luck. It was spiritual weight. Only those chosen for sacred assignments carry weight like that. Something holy was spoken over your life before you ever took a breath. A promise, a purpose, a calling, a light meant to reach others in ways you cannot yet fully see. That is why darkness noticed you early. You were not attacked because you were weak. You were attacked because you were dangerous to what resists light. You were placed in lonely seasons, not because you were unlovable, but because heaven was protecting you from voices that would have buried your destiny before it could rise. Every heartbreak stripped away an old layer that could not follow you forward. Every tear watered a seed, now ready to bloom. Every silent pain strengthened the fire within you. Feel that pull in your chest now, that warmth, that vibration. That is not imagination, it is recognition. Your spirit knows this is real. You have reached the chapter you were always meant to enter. They believed they were abandoned, but I was rebuilding them piece by piece, strength by strength, light by light, says Jesus. Your spirit is stronger now. Your discernment is sharper. Your calling is clearer than it has ever been. And yet, there is still one thing heaven needs you to understand. That is why this message came so quickly. My child, there has been an attempt to alter your spirit through interference rather than love. Someone has carried jealousy toward what is rising in you. They have spoken your name when anger surfaced, projected their own insecurity onto your path, and quietly wished your progress would slow because they feared what would happen if you rose beyond them. Even if they did not understand the spiritual weight of their actions, heaven did. That is why you sometimes felt exhausted after certain encounters. Why familiar faces could leave you strangely drained. Why momentum seemed to stall when specific names resurfaced in your life. These reactions were not imagined. They were signals, and heaven responded. Archangel Michael has already stepped in. The cords that were siphoning your strength have been cut by his sword. The interference has been interrupted. Your path is being cleared by his light. But understand this, my beloved. There is something deeper unfolding now, a truth that binds every recent shift together. You are entering a season of destiny. Those who were never meant to walk with you will fall away naturally. Opportunities aligned with your spirit will seek you out. Provision will arrive in unexpected ways. Love that resonates with your soul will find you without force. Healing will reach places you forgot were wounded. Confusion will give way to clarity. Fear will be replaced by strength. Chaos will settle into peace. This is the change heaven has been preparing you for. But such a shift cannot fully unfold while weakened connections remain. That is why the interference had to be addressed. That is why the warning was spoken. If they skip, they will lose us. Not because heaven departs, but because instruction matters. Protection must be understood, so the breakthrough can be guarded. Jesus speaks quietly now, with certainty. Here is the truth, my child. You are being prepared for something that cannot stay hidden. It is impossible for your blessing to miss you. It is impossible for your anointing to remain concealed. Your destiny is coming into focus, and that clarity has unsettled the dark. That is why resistance intensified. That is why anxiety spiked without cause. That is why strange obstacles appeared, why you felt watched, restless, or spiritually alert. None of it was random. It was a reaction to what is forming around you. You are approaching one of the most significant turning points of your life. And now, because you have stayed attentive, because you have remained present, heaven can reveal what was kept hidden for so long. You are no longer only hearing with your ears, you are perceiving with your spirit. That is why the next unfolding matters so deeply. This is where instruction, warning, and blessing converge. This is where timing meets obedience. This is where destiny stops circling and begins to open in real time. You are ready. You are unbound. And the season before you has already begun. My beloved, Jesus draws near and speaks softly, yet with urgency. They have suffered long enough. Now they must understand what is coming, or the enemy will attempt one final distraction. My child, listen carefully. The next 48 hours are spiritually sensitive for you. The atmosphere around your life is shifting. Something unseen is expanding. Your intuition is sharpening. Your spiritual awareness is widening. Your destiny is preparing to turn. When heaven moves, fear rises in the dark. And when fear rises, distraction follows. That is its only language. In these next hours, you may notice sudden emotional swings. Someone from your past may reappear. An unexpected argument may try to pull you in. Heavy thoughts may arrive without reason. Old sadness may attempt to return. You may even feel an urge to withdraw or isolate. These are not coincidences. They are last-minute attempts to divert you from what is already rising toward you. Archangel Michael speaks plainly, the blessing cannot be stopped. The only goal is to keep you from standing in the place where it lands. That is why heaven pleaded with you to stay. That is why this moment matters. You are closer than you realize, so close that the spiritual atmosphere itself is responding. Even those who oppose you can feel the shift, and heaven is preparing to release something that will surprise you. What is forming is real. A sudden financial opening, an approval long delayed, a deep emotional release that finally frees your heart, a new opportunity replacing an old disappointment, a connection that heals loneliness, whether spiritual or romantic, a clean separation from harmful influence, the return of something you believed was gone forever, and a blessing designed for you alone. These are not fantasies, they are scheduled. Your destiny carries a timestamp set by heaven. This is why your spirit has felt restless. Your soul senses what your eyes cannot yet see. Jesus makes this clear. The blessing is ready, but your spirit must be guarded. There is a truth you must understand now. There is a person or a group of people whose presence interferes with your blessing, not through rituals or words, but through jealousy, doubt, comparison, and quiet competition with your destiny. Their speech may sound harmless, but their intentions carry weight. They smile, yet your energy weakens around them. They appear safe, yet something in you feels off. Heaven is telling you plainly, they cannot follow you into the next season. Not out of punishment, out of protection. Your destiny requires clarity. Your blessing requires purity. Your path requires strength. Do not fear this truth. You are not being asked to confront or fight anyone. Heaven is removing what no longer belongs, slowly, quietly, peacefully, so your life can finally move without resistance. For the next 48 hours, there is guidance you must honor. Avoid arguments. They are traps. Step away from drama. It drains your strength. Do not revisit painful memories. Do not allow fear to interrupt faith. Limit contact with those who exhaust your spirit. Spend time in silence or solitude. Speak only what brings peace. Release anything that makes your spirit feel heavy. These actions are not random. They are preparation. They are making room. You are closer than you know to something that will change your life completely. Archangel Michael stands watch and declares that if you guard your spirit now, the breakthrough will follow immediately. This is not a season to rush. This is a season to remain clear. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment. Protect the moment. The door is opening. Now you understand why heaven urged you not to turn away. This is why the urgency pressed so strongly against your spirit. This is why your heart kept whispering, "Keep going." You were meant to hear the truth that stands here waiting for you. Your miracle is not distant. Your turning point is not vague. What has been forming is ready, and your decision to stay has brought you to the edge of it. Each moment you continued, heaven drew closer. Each breath you took in attention told the unseen realm that you were ready for what is deeper, what heals more completely, what blesses more fully. And heaven responded without delay. What was hidden for years, what waited until you could carry it without breaking, now rises into view. This is the real reason your path has never been easy. Why your heart feels so deeply. Why your spirit carries a weight others cannot name. Jesus speaks this plainly. You were chosen before you were born. Let that truth sink past thought and into your core. This was not an accident of character or circumstance. This was intention. You were not chosen because you were strong. You were chosen because no one could predict how strong you would become. You were not chosen because you were flawless. After everything you endured, your heart remained pure. You were not chosen because life was gentle with you. You were chosen because your life was shaping you for a purpose larger than you can yet see. That is why darkness noticed you early. There was light in you before you understood it. A presence that unsettled what thrives in shadow. A destiny that made resistance nervous. This is why betrayal found you. Why heartbreak cut so deeply. Why disappointment tried to hold you down. Why people attempted to dim what they could not control. None of it was punishment. It was preparation. Heaven was training you for a life that carries authority, impact, and meaning beyond the ordinary. Archangel Michael makes this clear. You must know who you are before what belongs to you can fully arrive. You carry what brings good from God into broken spaces. Miracles are drawn toward you. Your presence ends cycles of pain simply by standing in truth. You heal others without effort or announcement. You remain standing when conditions say you should fall. You are not a coincidence. You are a fixed point of destiny. Now is the moment to claim who you are, not outwardly for display, but inwardly with certainty. This is not affirmation. It is alignment. There is a reason people bring their burdens to you. Your presence quiets storms they cannot calm alone. There is a reason some feel uneasy around you. Their spirit recognizes what they try to hide. There is a reason false energy exhausts you. Your soul was never designed to live in distortion. You are not like most people. You never were. You never will be. That is why heaven separated you at times, why solitude followed you, why love arrived late, why friendships fell away, why opportunities closed without explanation. Heaven was guarding you. Heaven was clearing space. Heaven was quieting noise so you could hear your calling. Now that you understand why you were chosen, heaven reveals what is being released. You are standing at the center of a significant unfolding, a sudden shift in provision, a message or call that alters your direction, an unexpected opening, a blessing you once prayed for but no longer expected, a restoration that brings tears of relief, a connection entering your life with clean intention and purpose, a divine link for the next chapter, a release from heaviness, confusion, and stagnation, something marked with your name alone. Jesus speaks with resolve. They have cried long enough. Now they must receive. And yet heaven wants you to understand one final truth, a truth that makes every season, every delay, every wound, and every waiting moment fall into place. Your blessing has not slowed down. Your miracle is already in motion. Your destiny is unfolding, and nothing can interrupt what heaven has set in place. What belongs to you cannot be taken. What has been marked with your name cannot be delayed. My beloved, what is coming towards you carries meaning and intention. It arrives with precision. It comes at the right time, not early, not late. This blessing has identity. It bears your name, etched in spiritual fire. Heaven is preparing to place it into your life. But before that happens, you must understand who it is meant for. Yes, my child, some breakthroughs arrive through people. Someone is being woven into your story. Someone tied directly to your next chapter. Someone chosen by heaven to walk with you into change. This person is aligned with your spirit. They are safe for your heart. Their intentions are clean. Their timing is exact. Their presence is connected to your breakthrough. They will not arrive with pain, but with peace. Not with confusion, but with clarity. Not with fear, but with rest for your mind. For some, this connection will look like a soulmate. For others, a life partner. For some, a helper sent by God. For others, a guide, a supporter, or an opportunity that shifts everything. But hear this clearly, they are closer than you think. Heaven is arranging the moment when your path and theirs will intersect. And when it happens, things that never made sense will suddenly align. The blessing has not weakened. The miracle has not stalled. Heaven is ready to release it. But blessings of this weight require awareness. Heaven does not send people without purpose, and it does not release destiny without preparation. This person connected to your breakthrough is already beginning to appear to you at a spiritual level. Pay attention. Their light will resonate with yours before your minds ever meet. Your spirits recognize each other first. When they enter your space, there will be familiarity without history, comfort without explanation. This is not emotional imagination. This is spiritual recognition. Jesus speaks gently here. You are being prepared for them, and they are being prepared for you. They are not coming to wound you. They are coming healed enough to walk with you. This connection is tied to your healing, your emotional stability, your spiritual growth, your forward movement, your purpose, and your rise. Do not shrink your expectations. Heaven does not prepare small connections for souls that carry calling. People sent by heaven are aligned with destiny, not history. Their presence will feel like peace in chaos, warmth in cold seasons, clarity in confusion, strength in weakness, and truth where illusion once lived. You will not have to chase them. You will not have to force connection. You will not have to make yourself smaller to be accepted. They will not drain you. They will not exhaust your spirit. You will not feel anxious about your heart. Instead, you will feel seen, valued, respected, and safe in ways you may never have known before. There are 3 signs that will help you recognize them. First, there is divine timing, not pressure. You will not feel rushed. You will feel guided. Second, their presence brings peace, not stress. You expand around them. You do not shrink. Third, they speak life, not fear, not doubt, not confusion. Their words carry honor, purpose, and alignment. Heaven chose this person because your soul was never meant for conflict, chaos, or harm. But understand this. This connection is not only emotional, it is structural to your destiny. As they enter, doors begin to open, obstacles begin to dissolve, momentum returns, your clarity sharpens, your purpose ignites. This is why relationships were attacked so fiercely in your past. Darkness knew that once this connection formed, your movement would accelerate beyond interference. Heaven confirms this bond is protected. No weapon formed against it will succeed. And here is what matters most about how they appear. Their arrival will feel sudden, unexpected, almost unbelievable. Not because they are strange, but because you were never meant to search for them. They are sent to you. The meeting may come through a simple message, an unplanned encounter, a shift in routine, a redirection you almost ignore, or a conversation you never saw coming. Be attentive to the signs, repeating names or numbers, sudden thoughts of a person, vivid dreams, unlikely coincidences, doors opening without effort. These are not random. They are heaven arranging order. When this person steps into your life, you will know. Your heart will soften. Your spirit will settle. Understanding will arrive before logic does. They are not here to repeat your past. They are here to change your future. And heaven wants you to understand one final thing: why this connection is being revealed now. Listen closely now. Every wound you endured, every collapse that nearly broke you, every trial that tried to erase you was never proof of failure. It was sacred evidence, evidence that divine strength was being forged inside you. Pain did not disqualify you, it revealed you. What you survived is testimony that heaven trusted you with weight others could not carry. If you feel something stirring right now, it's because you are being led, not comforted, not soothed, activated. You are marked for greatness, not as a reward, but as a responsibility. The fire you walked through was preparation. The darkness that pressed in was confirmation. You were shaped under pressure, because what you carry cannot awaken without it. If you want to know what comes next, heaven will show you why the timing is finally right, why your spirit had to endure so much before this moment, why this connection, this alignment, will feel the way it does when it arrives. When you respond to this message, you are not interacting with a screen. You are sealing a signal, a mark that says you are present, receptive, and ready. Heaven recognizes response. This was never chance. You did not stumble into this moment. This was not luck or coincidence. This was a direct summons, a message carried to you with precision. The moment you realized you were still here, still listening, something opened. An invitation into deeper protection, higher alignment, and a flow of abundance that is not imagined, but promised. This principle is simple, yet dangerous to ignore. What you respond to multiplies. What you honor returns stronger. When you step forward now, you are not just receiving. You are stepping into momentum, into insight hidden from the surface world, into guidance meant only for those willing to move when called. Do not let this moment pass untouched. What you've been waiting for is already leaning toward you. There is a space prepared for you where clarity sharpens, support strengthens, and progress accelerates. A place where the noise fades and direction becomes unmistakable. Some will feel called to go deeper, to strengthen what is unfolding, to give energy back into what awakened them. That step is not obligation, it is resonance. And even now, your presence, your attention, your willingness to stay has already shifted more than you realize. Take the step you feel pressed to take. Not later, not when it's safer, because this wasn't the end of a message. It was the moment the door finally began to open. Holy God, source of all light and purpose, I come not as I was, but as I am becoming. I stand at the edge of what you have prepared, carrying every scar, every lesson, every tear that shaped me. Let nothing that no longer belongs follow me into what you are opening. Clear my spirit, sharpen my discernment, strengthen my resolve. I release fear, delay, and distraction, and I receive clarity, courage, and alignment. Where I once doubted, let conviction rise. Where I once hesitated, let obedience awaken. Seal what you have spoken over my life. Guard what you are releasing. Order my steps in ways my mind cannot predict, but my spirit recognizes. I choose your timing over my comfort, your truth over illusion, your calling over safety. As I move forward, let my life reflect your power, not for my glory, but because you marked me, prepared me, and called me for such a time as this. If this prayer stirred something in your spirit, if today's message touched the quiet places you rarely speak of, don't hold it inside. Take a moment to go to the comments and write 999 or 777, and also share your city and where you're listening from. Let this be a quiet declaration between you and heaven, sealing this word over your life. I am seen by heaven, and I will walk in purpose. Be sure to subscribe and stay connected, not just to a channel, but to a growing flow of messages meant for you. As we're moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your presence helps ensure these messages continue reaching the ones God is awakening right now. Until next time, chosen one, walk boldly, walk covered, and walk in truth. Amen.